Let's get this thing going. You guys, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Tuesday evening with me. Guys, my name is Steve Schultz, and I've got the pleasure of sharing some great information with you guys, especially the guests. All right, those of you who may be looking at the Super Patch opportunity for maybe the first or second time, you guys are the reason that we're here, and the reason that you were invited out here tonight is to get information. Please understand, all this is information, and what you do with this information is totally up to you, but I will tell you this. If you apply the information that I share with you here tonight, it can change your life. And I know that is a big, bold statement to make, but it has happened for thousands of people all around the world, and that's what we want to share with you guys here tonight. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to a new technology. Okay, when people say, hey, Steve, what are you doing these days? I say, well, I'm introducing a new technology to the world. And people look at me and go, really? What is it? Because when I say technology, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel a little bit nervous? Because some of you are like, hey, I'm not very tech savvy. Or do you sit back and say, yeah, bring it on? Because the world is run on technology. The exciting part about this technology is that the world wants it, the world needs it. The world doesn't even know that it exists. And I'm going to be a little bit bold here tonight and tell you that this technology is as big as the smartphone. Yeah, that's a bold statement, right? And the reason that I'm so excited and I feel like I can say that is because this technology has the ability to touch every single person on the planet. If you have skin, this technology is for you. And we are introducing this technology through affiliates. All right, we market this technology through affiliates. And yes, you can become an affiliate. And you guys all know what affiliates are. Affiliates are people that go out and share something, and then when sales are made, they earn a commission. And you can be an affiliate of the Super Patch Company. And when I say it has the ability to touch every person on the planet, that should make you like sit on the edge of your seat just a little bit, because you're like, wait a minute, I have the ability to play in that game? Guys, this is social e-commerce. In other words, we're going to go out there and share this technology with people that we know through social media, through our daily conversations. And if you're an affiliate, people will go to your website, click on the link, and when they buy the technology that I'm going to describe to you, you get paid. You get paid. And then you can also show other people how they can become affiliates, and you get paid, team bonuses as well. So we'll explain that a little bit later on, and the person who invited you here tonight, they can explain that a little bit more in detail. But I want to make sure you guys understand that, yeah, I want you to try this technology, but if you want to be an affiliate, the door is open for that as well, and I'll explain how you get started with that at the very end. Now, this technology has a mission, and the mission is drug-free health and performance. This technology is safe, it's tested, it's proven, and it's affordable. Everybody watching this can afford this technology. Now, the gentleman who put it all together, his name is Jay Dollywall, and he said, the future is not in a pill, it's in a neuro signal. So guys, when I say drug-free health and performance, now you sit back and go, wait a minute, we live in a drug-infested world, right? But Jay Dollywall says, no, the future's not in a pill, it's in a neuro signal. And Jay said, I'm here to build something generational that will transform the world. Anything else is a waste of time. So I want you to kind of sit back, and I'm going to ask you if you're ready. Okay, are you guys ready for a limitless business? And when I say limitless, that means there's no limit. All right, there's no cap on what we're doing here with this technology. We're talking about a $4.7 trillion global opportunity that's going to affect about 6 billion people, and we're globally protected. Guys, this technology is only available through Super Patch and Super Patch affiliates. It's not white labeled anywhere. No other company has it. No other company is going to get it. It is exclusive with the Super Patch Company and Super Patch affiliates, which means we have no competition. There is nobody in the world doing what this company is doing with this technology, and it's already being recommended by thousands of doctors. And when I say we live in a drug-infested world, guys, it's prescription here and prescription this and prescription for this, and then you got to take this prescription to offset the side effects of this prescription. And you sit back and go, wait a minute, you're telling me that this technology is offsetting that? And I'm like, yeah, it's exactly what I'm telling you. And we've got thousands of doctors that are turning their heads going, there's an alternative to prescription drugs. And thousands of doctors are already recommending this technology to their patients. And it's in the form of this tiny little patch from the Super Patch Company. Now, when I say tiny little patch, it's small. You guys can see this on the screen. Look how small it is in my hand. It's only 1.5 by 1.5 inches. But the uniqueness of this patch is that there's nothing on it. There are no drugs, no stimulants, no supplements, no vitamins, no chemicals. In fact, there are no ingredients whatsoever. The only thing that's on this patch is a pattern, and that pattern has ridges. And when those ridges come in contact with your skin, the receptors in your skin can read the pattern like a QR code, and it sends a message back to your brain to remind our bodies of what it's supposed to do. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds unbelievable, and it might even sound a little bit silly, because that is exactly how I felt when Jay Dhaliwal himself called me a little more than 4 years ago, and he was explaining this concept to me on the phone. And I said, Jay, so what you're telling me, all I have to do is put this little patch on my arm, anywhere on my skin, and what's it supposed to do? And Jay said, well, I've got 15 different patches, and they all do different things. And I said, all right, what do they do? And he said, well, I've got a patch to help people with balance, stability, and range of motion. I've got one to help people deal with pain. I've got one to help people that have sleep issues. Now, guys, I want you to think about all the people that you know who are dealing with pain, who have sleep issues. He said, I've got one to help people regain their focus. How many of you know people who just are not focused? They're like all over the place, right? He goes, I've got another patch to help people deal with stress. Guys, how many people do you know are stressed out? Yeah, including yourself, right? He said, I've got another one to help people with energy. And guys, when he said energy to me, I mean, I kind of stopped, because I know how big the energy drink market is. The energy drink market is a $73 billion a year industry. And I know I don't have to tell you that, because when you walk into a convenience store, you see the shelves, the coolers are stocked with Red Bulls and Monster Energies. And then when you go to check out, the 5-hour energies are all around the checkout area. Well, how would you like to have that same burst of energy that you get with those products without any of the crash, without any of the sugar, without any of those side effects, and at about a third of the cost? Yeah, we've got that in our energy patch, and it's called Boost. He said, I've got another patch that will help people with willpower. I'm like, wait, what? He goes, willpower. I'm like, okay, so when I have that craving to eat junk food or whatever it is, if you have a craving, it's going to help you with that willpower not to do what you kind of want to do, but you know that you really shouldn't do it. Yeah, we have a patch for that. He said, I've also got a patch to help people feel more grounded. I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, that feeling you get when you're on a boat or you're on a plane. And I'm like, when you feel a little bit queasy? He goes, yeah. I go, you have a patch for that? He goes, yeah, with no ingredients whatsoever. He said, I also have a patch that will help enhance your mood. And the only way that I can explain this patch, it's called Joy, is that, like, let's say you wake up in the morning and you just feel like there's a cloud over your head. You're like, everything is going wrong. It's like, what is going on with me, right? It could be a beautiful sunny day and this cloud is over your head. Well, you put the Joy patch on and magically the sun comes out. I have no idea how that works, but try it for yourself. We also have a patch to optimize brain function and memory. Guys, this is my favorite patch. It's called Zen. And this patch is going to help your brain organize information. And if you're like me, you guys, have you ever walked into a room and said, okay, why did I just come in here? Or you open up your phone and you say, who's I going to call? Yeah, that's why I wear the Zen patch every single day. We also have a patch to help your overall appearance. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? He said, well, just put the patch on and it will help your skin. You'll have this natural glow to you and it helps with fine lines and wrinkles. And I'm like, well, I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to wear that one every single day. And then he said, I've got one for overall athletic performance. He said, this is going to help with balance, stability, range of motion, but it's also going to add power, strength, endurance, and faster recovery times. And guys, this is called our Victory Patch. And if you're active, you should be wearing our Victory Patch. In fact, we've got players from 12 NFL teams that are wearing the patch. We've got professional athletes in all major sports, NBA, Major League Baseball, the National Hockey League, the Professional Golfers Association. Plus, we have collegiate athletes all over North America that are wearing our Victory Patch. And I tell people all the time, I said, listen, guys, the reason that these world-class athletes wear this technology is because it works and it gives them an edge. And none of these athletes are going to, put anything in their bodies or even on their bodies if they think they're going to be fined or suspended from their leagues. Guys, nobody's going to fail a drug test because the patch has nothing on it. And when Jay was explaining this to me 4.5 years ago, I just said, Jay, you got something here that can change the world. And he smiled at me and he said, that's why I called you. And I said, all right, let's go. Let's go share this with the rest of the world. Now, the biggest question that I get, and I know Jay gets, is how? How does this possibly work? Because guys, what I just told you is that when you put this patch on your skin with nothing on it, it's going to help with all those things that I just described. And you're like, how? How does that work? Well, it took Jay 17 years and $40 million to figure out this technology. And the technology is called VTT, Vibro Tactile Technology. Now, I said it once, you're never going to remember it, but it's called VTT. And when Jay invests that kind of time and that kind of money, there's something to it. But the question is, how? How does it actually work? Well, let me walk through this really, really simple explanation with you. You see, every step that you take, every surface that you touch, every small change in pressure or movement, our skin notices it first. And then your brain decides what to do next. In other words, if you guys were sitting with me right now and I said, all right, I need you to close your eyes and hold out your hand. And if I took your hand and I held it over a hot stove, you would be able to tell me that that stove was hot, even though your eyes are closed. Why? Because your skin is sending a message back to your brain that says, hey, this stove is hot. And then your brain decides to pull your hand away. Guys, this is the way our bodies have always worked. Well, this is where Super Patch starts. Not by adding anything new, but by sending a clear, gentle message through the system, guys, that we already trust. And that's why we call these patches messengers. That's all these patches do, is send a message to our brain to remind our bodies of what it's supposed to do. Now, to me, this all makes sense because for years, we were taught that wellness had to come from the outside. In other words, if you're sick or something, you got to take pills and powders and stimulants and chemicals. Well, your nervous system already runs the show. It controls how you move, how you rest, how you focus, and how you recover. Well, when that communication gets fuzzy, that's when there's problems. That's when your body has to work harder than it needs to. So Jay Dollywall said, all right, if I can just improve the clarity of the message, the body can do the rest. No forcing, no overriding, no ingestion, just a better signal. Guys, the patch doesn't fix you. It simply reminds you. It's not about adding power. It's about restoring communication. And so, guys, that's the technology that I'm talking about here tonight. And probably the best way to explain how this technology works is to show you how this technology works. I want to introduce you to Brandy. And I met Brandy, probably 3.5 years ago now. Brandy came to one of my live events. And after the meeting, she came up to the group of people that were standing up in front and she said, I have a really hard time walking up and down a flight of stairs. Do you guys have something that will help me? And we all kind of looked at each other and said, yeah, we got something for you. So I want you guys to watch Brandy walking up and down a flight of stairs with and without wearing this technology. Now you're going to see a huge difference when she puts on the Liberty Patch. Now the Liberty Patch is for balance, stability, and range of motion. All right, see the difference when she puts the patch on. This video is 1 minute in length. Here we go.
How many years have you had an issue going up and down the stairs?
Since I was 33, I'm 46, so you can do the math, I can't.
13 years.
Thank you.
Go ahead, please be careful. Okay, I'm gonna put the Liberty Patch on her right now. And she's gonna do all of that again.
And by the way, just walking up and down this many times, usually I'm in a lot of pain too, and that's not as bad.
This is her third time doing it. There you go.
It's amazing. Utterly amazing.
Brandy said it is amazing. It is utterly amazing. We changed Brandy's life within an hour after we introduced her to the Super Patch technology. Now, the other question that I get a lot is, how did Jay come up with this? How did he figure this out? Well, when Jay was 12 years old, his mother was diagnosed with MS. And Jay remembers that his family went to doctors all around the world to try to find answers, and they couldn't come up with any answers. And Jay remembers saying to himself, I'm going to figure this out someday. Well, a little bit later on in life, Jay started studying brain mapping. And throughout the course of his study, he ran across a research paper done by a couple of guys from Columbia University. Now, this is way back in 1939 that these two gentlemen did this research study. And what they concluded was that every cell in our body can send and receive signals. And that was it. That was the extent of their research. Now, these two guys were no slouches because these two gentlemen went on to win a Nobel Prize because these two guys invented the MRI. So Jay said, all right, if every cell in our body can send and receive signals, why can't I figure out the correct signal to send? And he did it. You guys, that's the technology that I'm sharing with you here tonight. Now, when I say we've got thousands of doctors that are now recommending this technology to their patients, well, we've got some of those doctors that are now on our advisory boards. All right, so not only is the medical world looking at this going, hey, there's an alternative, the medical world is joining us, saying, hey, we've got to get the word out about these patches to everybody because there is an alternative to those prescription drugs. We also have some very famous people that are helping us promote this technology throughout the world, including Jay Glazer. Now, those of you who are NFL football fans, you certainly know who Jay Glazer is. You see Jay every Sunday during the NFL season on Fox Sports. And don't let him kid you, because those beautiful custom suits that he wears, underneath, he is all patched up. And Jay is the gentleman who is responsible for getting these patches into the professional sports world and also the collegiate sports world. And we're excited about where we are. Guys, today we can do business in 34 countries. But the exciting part about this is we know that people live in South America and in Africa and in Asia and in Australia, New Zealand. And we're just not open in those countries yet. So I want you guys to get excited about where we are. North America, the UK, Colombia down in South America, the 27 countries in the European Union. Get excited about that. But I want you to lose sleep about where we're not. Because here's what's going to happen. Because some of you look at this and go, well, I don't know anybody in the UK. I don't know anybody, in Colombia. Well, I want you to think about the people that you know in your town, in your city, in your state, in your province. Think about the people who you know that could use this technology. Well, if you go out there and you share it with them as an affiliate, the company's going to pay you. But you can show other people how to become affiliates, and they go out and share it with others who share it with others who share it with others, and you get paid on all of that volume as well. And the people that you bring in the business, that they bring in and they bring in and they bring in, they might know somebody over in Europe. And when that happens, all of a sudden you have a team of people that are sharing this in Europe that you're getting an override on. And what that means is that the sun will never set on your super patch business. Because you guys here in North America, tonight we're going to go to sleep in a few hours. But as we fall asleep in North America, Europe is just waking up, right? And if you have a team of people over in those countries, you're going to get paid around the clock for people from affiliates that are sharing this super patch technology. Now, I have been in this profession for 37 years. Been doing it for 37 years. I've been doing it full time for 34 of those 37 years. And we've had a ton of success, all right? And I've been with Super Patch now for 4.5 years when I got that phone call from Jay. And we've got advantages with the Super Patch company that I have never seen in this industry before. And those of you that are already in this industry, maybe you have been in this industry, I want you to compare the advantages that we have here with Super Patch to where you've been previously. And listen, don't read the screen. There are way too many words on this screen. Let me just go through this really, really quickly. But the first advantage that we have is that we are globally protected. In other words, nobody can have this. Nobody's going to get it. It's not white labeled anywhere. The only place you can get this technology with these patches is with the Super Patch affiliate. And somebody asked me one time, they said, well, how is Jay protecting this? Does Jay have a patent on this? And the answer is no, this is not patented. Because when you patent something, you have to give away your secrets, all right? Coca-Cola is not patented. Kentucky Fried Chicken is not patented. This is intellectual property. The way Jay protects the Super Patch technology is the same way that Walt Disney protects Mickey Mouse. And today, the Super Patch company and this technology is protected in 186 countries around the world. All right? We can do business in 34, but we're protected in 186 countries around the world. So that is what you should lose sleep about. Number 2, we can maximize the market. Guys, I don't care if you're male, if you're female, I don't care what color your skin is. If you have skin, we have a patch for you. The patches work. They work fast. We've got patches that work instantly. Like literally, I put a patch on you and you're going to start feeling a certain way. I take the patch off, the feeling goes away. Some of our patches work like Wi-Fi. As soon as you put it on, boom, it starts to work. Nobody has to change anything in their lifestyle to wear this technology. You can wear these patches anywhere on your skin as long as they're laying flat. Don't put them on your elbow or don't put them on your knee as long as they're laying flat. And yes, you can wear multiple patches. Why? Because each patch has a different pattern on it that sends a different signal to a different part of your brain so they don't short circuit one another or anything like that. The patches are water resistant, so you can shower with them, you can exercise with them, you can swim with them. All we're going to ask you to do, switch them out every 24 hours because at the end of 24 hours, the adhesive starts to wear off a little bit and the pattern actually starts to wear down, making them a little bit less effective. So I want you to put your business caps on for just a second. That creates a consumable product. We want people wearing these patches every single day. They're priced right. Guys, these patches that I'm showing you are about $2 a piece, and that's the retail cost, like $2. $2 for one of these patches. We have what is called a co-op marketing program. Now, I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question. How would you like to get paid from the volume of customers that the company gathers for us? Okay, I can see you guys just shaking your head going, wait, what? We have that. Guys, in my 37-year career, I've never seen that with another company before. The company's going to go out and gather customers, and we get paid on that volume. The person who invited you here tonight, they will explain how this co-op marketing program works, but guys, it is becoming a big, big part of our compensation, and they will explain how it works. And then finally, guys, we're compliant. We just do things right. We're not curing or diagnosing any disease or anything like that. We just do things right. And we are registered with the FDA. Now, why do these advantages matter? because there is so much hype in our industry. There are too many scams. There are too many Me Too products. There are too many companies like this. People are financially exhausted. Inflation is punishing. The issues with the economy are not going away. Just go to the gas pumps. Go buy anything today. You're like, man, what the heck is going on? Everybody needs extra cash, and here's proof of that. 66%, 2/3 of the people who live in North America do not have an extra $500 of disposable income. That is a problem. That is a problem, okay? So you sit back and say, well, what are my options? Well, the gig economy, right? The gig economy is an option, because in the gig economy, yeah, you can make extra money. You can make quick cash fast, but it ends right there. Because in the gig economy, it's you versus you, right? There's no leverage. Like, you can only work a certain amount of time. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's no leverage. Because in the gig economy, you're trading time for money, and it ends right there. Well, with the super patch economy, yeah, there's extra money, there's quick cash, but we have unlimited marketing advantages. We're talking about a limitless scale in a global economy, because, like I said, we're protected in 186 countries, and if you have skin, this product is available to you, and it's a team effort. Because you can go out there and you can find other affiliates, find other people who want to become affiliates, and you're going to get paid off of their efforts as well, okay? And what you're building is you're building an asset. Guys, you are building a willable asset for you and your family. You really got to understand the concept behind team overrides. Because when you start sharing this technology with people are going to look at you and go, how did you hear about this? And what do you mean you're an affiliate? Well, they can become an affiliate too, and they're going to do the exact same thing that you're doing, and you're going to get paid an override off of that team. Guys, it is the greatest thing that I've ever seen, and I've been doing it for 37 years, but nothing like the success we're having here with the Super Patch Company in the last 4.5 years. Okay, guys, let's wrap this up. Let's get you started. If you want to become an affiliate, it costs you nothing, okay? It costs you nothing to become an affiliate. And when you decide that you want to become an affiliate, yes, you get your own back office, you get your own website, okay, that you can take that link and you can share it with people. You can put it on social media. You can go market it the way that you want to market. Remember, this is social e-commerce. So you take your website, your link, which costs you nothing, and you put it out there. And when people click on the link and they go to your store and they purchase this technology, you get paid. And then other people are going to say, I want to do what you're doing. So they enroll for nothing. And they set up their own back offices, and they get their own site, and they go do the exact same thing that you do. They start developing and building volume, and you get paid team overrides. You get paid on that volume as well. Now, when I say your back office, you've got the ability to track all your customers. You can see what they purchased. You can see what the volume is. You can track your commissions hourly. It pays for the company to handle all the money, all the collections. We never collect any money in this business. They handle all the product, they handle all the shipping, and they handle all customer service. You get all of that for nothing. Costs you nothing to sign up, okay? The only thing you're going to need are patches. And when you enroll, I'm going to suggest that you purchase the patches in one of our kits, because when you buy them in bulk, you save a bunch of money. This is called the Flex 40 kit. Yes, there are other options, but I'm going to tell you about the best value. With the Flex 40 kit, you're getting about $4,000 worth of patches for $1,500. Guys, it's ridiculous, all right? And you get to choose the 40 packs of patches that you want. Yes, we have a Flex 20 and a Flex 10, which means you can purchase, 20 packs or 10 packs, but the 40 is by far the best value. And when you have 40 packs of patches, there's massive profit margins there. There's enough patches for you to use yourself, sample, and sell. Okay, you got 40 packs of patches that you can sell to your friends. The person who invited you here tonight to have you view this, they will get together with you and they're going to explain and they'll show you how to get yourself enrolled. Like I said, you guys, to become an affiliate, it's nothing. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you get to buy the patches at wholesale and you can go out there and earn money, right? By not only, selling to customers, but you can develop a team of people who are doing the exact same thing. Now, something that we're super, super excited about, and this is the first time that I'm announcing it here on this Zoom, starting August 10th. We have a brand new product that we are announcing to the world. It is called Total Gut 7. And guys, when you talk about gut health and people talk about, your second brain, it's like we don't have a gut health patch. All right? And so Jay said, you know what? Let's take care of people's second brain. And these are capsules. Okay? These are capsules that are going to help people with what? We always say that you are what you eat. It's like, no, you're not. You are what you absorb. And what Total Gut 7 is going to do is help your body absorb the nutrients from the food that you are eating. Now, we're going to come out with a lot more information about this, but this is an amazing product that I have been using now for about 2 weeks, and I feel amazing. Guys, I feel lighter. There's no bloating. And I'm like, wow, where has this been my entire life? And so this is part of our package that we're going to be able to share with people. And this starts on August 10th. And so more information is coming out very, very quickly. Now, let's wrap this thing up. Those of you that are looking at this for the very first time, listen, my job here tonight and the person who invited you here tonight, our job wasn't to sell you anything. Our job was to just give you information. Because Super Patch is way beyond selling belief. Why? Because there's too much evidence. There's too much evidence. Guys, we launched these patches in January of 2023. And in that first year of business, we did over $60 million in revenue. It's a pretty good first year, right? Our second year, we did over $100 million. Last year, we did over $200 million. And this year, we have no idea where it's going to stop. We're in 34 countries. We have 16 peer-reviewed clinical studies. So everything that I'm sharing with you is all backed by science. We have tens of thousands of testimonials. We've got professional and collegiate athletes that are wearing our technology. We've got thousands of doctors that are recommending this technology, and we're registered with the FDA. So we're way beyond selling belief, because all you got to do is look at the screen and go, wow, that's pretty amazing. What we're really, really selling is adoption. It's like, you guys, these patches aren't going anywhere. And the only question is, are you going to be a part of it? Do you want to help us go out there and share this with other people? Because if you do, the company will pay you. They will pay you a ridiculous amount of money for something that you would do for free. And it doesn't cost anything to join. All you got to do is just pay for the patches, right? And so, listen, if you are looking at this for the first time, get together with the person who invited you. Do not go to sleep with a question. There's not a single question that we don't have an answer to. And if you are joining us here tonight, either as a customer or as an affiliate, let me be the first to welcome you to the Super Patch Company. Good luck, everybody.